Hey everyone, it's Michael Kikle. I hope you're doing well today, and welcome to the first ever on this channel. I've done this on many other channels, whether it be my horror channel or some of the false starts to this channel's name on other channels over the years. Anyway, this is the first movie haul video, and TV haul also. I'll also be doing a gaming video collection segment, as in like what I've hauled up recently for that too. Just so you know, this is a long, big haul video. Usually I'll try to put these up on other channels I've worked on in the past, like every week or two, depending on how much I get. If I buy 4 or 5 things, then I eventually make the next video, right? But there's a local store I go to that I stockpile on shit. And I had an anniversary recently, so my wife got me some stuff that I'm really excited about. There's all kinds of cool things. I also got a bonus at work recently, because we do that, quarterly, whatever. So I bought a lot of really cool shit recently. I spent way too much money on this. I don't even know what all this comes to. I don't. I could probably do the math. It's going to sound horrible, so I'm just going to not even bother with that. But I do want to make sure you understand, too, this is stuff, if I haven't said this already, I've said it in my head before I recorded this, but just in case I haven't said it out loud, this is stuff over the last, 3 or 4 months that I've picked up. But the anniversary and a vacation my wife and I went on recently is where I grabbed a lot of cool stuff. So, TV and movies. I'm going to start with the movies first. Usually people like that a whole lot. I got a lot of cool stuff. By the way, I pick up a lot of stuff because everything I basically buy is used. I don't really buy anything new. But the one brand new movie I did buy that I thought was a very big surprise, it's probably my next to bottom favorite in the series, just above the original. This is Bad Boys Ride or Die. I'm a huge fan of Bad Boys. Just saw all of these again for the first time in ages. I just saw part 1 again for the first time in a long, long time, like since I was a kid seeing it on TV. Part 2, I had seen a bunch on TV because it was on repeat when I was a child. I love Bad Boys 2. It's easily the best. But Bad Boys for Life, which is part 3, was really, really great. I loved that it made up for so much stuff, did some really cool things, and they picked up on a lot of those things from 3 in this 4th movie. That this came out this year. This is one of those kind of surprise movies. It wasn't like a massive hit, but it was pretty modest. I think it made its budget back, and I think they're talking about making 2 more, which is cool to me because I love Will Smith, at least when he's not being an asshole, and I love Martin Lawrence. It's good to see him back too. Even if the boys have slowed down a little bit, they're still bad as fuck and cool as fuck. So this was cool. Again, I like it a little bit more than part 1. I do plan on reviewing this sometime because it's been a little bit since earlier in the year when this movie came to theaters, and I watched 1, 2, and 3 pretty much back to back for the first time in ages, like I said. It's been too long to review those because I don't know them by heart as much, even though I've saw number 2 a ton when I was a kid. But it wouldn't be fair to part 1, it wouldn't be fair to part 3. But I really enjoyed this. I don't want to say love. I keep trying to stop myself from going to the verge of the L word, but I don't love it, but I feel like it'll grow on me even more over time because of how cool this was. And I think certain aspects will kind of dip down in how much I like them. Like some parts that are kind of the lower parts of this movie are going to get lower, I think, over time, but I think the highs are going to get higher. There was some cool stuff in the 3rd act of this movie, and I dug it, Very cool flick. If you haven't seen that before, definitely worth your time and money. Go get a brand new copy. If you love Bad Boys movies, you're not going to be disappointed with this one, more than likely. A lot of people are calling that one the worst of the bunch. It's easily better than part 1. Part 1 is easily the weakest, in my opinion. This was still really, really fun. I wish it had a better score, but it was fine for what we got. Still better than part 1, like I said, for the most part. Moving along, though, now we're kind of going into all the used shit. Tons of Blu-rays. I'm going to do the Blu-rays, then the DVDs. I don't buy 4Ks. Fuck 4K. It's a scam. You're going to have to hear that at some point. Somebody's going to have to beat that sense into you, and it's going to probably have to be me. 4K is a scam, unless it's for older movies, just like Blu-ray. It's a scam if you're not getting old movies. But this stuff was mostly $2.99 a piece, so I grabbed it up. Okay, the first one here that I have after Bad Boys, the first used one, is the newer Mortal Kombat movie. I've been wanting to see this for ages. I kept seeing DVDs of it in Walmart's bins for like $7.50, and I was excited to see it. I've never seen the original second Mortal Kombat film. I've seen the original a couple of times, but I never saw part 2 of that. And I kept thinking, what if I don't like this? I heard a lot of meandering things. I heard a lot of people say it was a little bit of a mixed bag, so I thought I'll wait, and here we are. I'm glad I waited. $2.99, not bad. This movie here I saw in theaters. It was awful. I hate it, but I decided to go ahead and pick it up because I'm kind of having this itch to want to rewatch these after the recent Deadpool film. But we'll see. I still have a few that are not in my collection that I need to pick up at some point, but $2.99 for this, I'll pay that. This movie is fucking terrible, but oh well. That is X-Men Apocalypse. What an awful movie, man. What a bad one. People say that Phoenix is worse than this, or Dark Phoenix, or whatever that movie's called. I've not seen that, but this was easily worse than X-Men Origins Wolverine, which I actually enjoy quite a bit. At least my memory does, because it's been so long. This is easily worse than X-Men 3. I don't know what motherfuckers are smoking when they say that this is not that bad. You're crazy as hell. If Dark Phoenix is worse than that, I would be shocked. That movie was so bad, and I had so much disdain for Logan, the last Wolverine film before Deadpool 3, that I didn't even bother watching Dark Phoenix yet. I've been looking for a cheap copy, kind of like I did with Mortal Kombat. I'm willing to pay $2.99 or $1.99. I sure as hell ain't paying $10 for a copy, or $8, or even $5 if I can avoid it. Next film here is from the director of Phantasm, the creator of Phantasm, Don Coscarelli, who I love quite a bit. I actually just rewatched Phantasm on a Blu-ray that I've had for years, and this year my goal was to, in case people don't know, work through a lot of my collection and backlog of things I haven't watched, TV shows and movies, but mainly movies. I can knock those out a little bit quicker, but I do have those big 50-pack of movies, so that could take some time. But I've worked through a lot of stuff, watched a couple of TV shows, as you can tell this year, reviewing things like Three's Company, Jimmy Neutron. I have other things I'm watching on the side too, but I'm trying to get movies out of the way, you know? This film here is from Mr. Don Coscarelli, who I love, and I haven't seen it, but I've heard good things, and that is John Dies at the End. This is a brand new copy I got from a Big Lots when I was in Tennessee. I think it was like $5, $3, something like that. This has been out for a while. It's based on a book. And I've heard numerous things. You know, I've heard it's a pretty solid movie for the most part. Clancy Brown, Paul Giamatti. It can be hit or miss. Even though I'm a big Clancy Brown guy. I love that guy. Mr. Krabs, motherfucker, I love him. I'm even wearing a red shirt like Mr. Krabs, but that's his skin. Anyway, this is Bad Times at the El Royale. I heard a lot of really good things about this. I think this is the movie I heard so much good about. It is directed and written by Drew Goddard. That's the guy. I was trying to figure out who it was. I forgot to look it up before I made the video. But I like Drew Goddard's stuff. You know, he's the creator of Daredevil's TV show, Cabin in the Woods director. I think Drew Goddard's really good. I like his stuff typically. So I'm hoping this is good. I think this is the one that I had heard was such a big surprise. A lot of my friends were talking about. Kind of like a 70s throwback, kind of drive-in motel movie, supposedly. We'll see. It looks like it has a drive-in, actually. I don't know, maybe I'm crazy. But I like period piece stuff like that, and I trust Drew Goddard. This movie here, I've been thinking about picking up a copy for ages. I finally got a copy today for $2.99 used, but it's like a brand new copy. Somebody must have just bought this at like Walmart on Blu-ray, didn't like it, decided to sell it to the store I go to, and that is Frankenweenie. It's a black and white stop-motion animation, cartoon, family movie, kids movie, whatever. I've wanted to see this. I love Frankenstein. This is kind of, I think, a mild retelling, but not entirely. Like a creative type of Tim Burton-esque thing. I don't think he even... Did he direct this? Yeah, he directed this. And John August wrote it, whoever that is. Sounds cool. I'm excited. I love Frankenstein. A huge fan of Universal Monster stuff. This could be really cool about a kid and his dog. I've heard great things for a long time. It doesn't have the reputation of something like Nightmare Before Christmas, but it sounded cool and I've always wanted to see it. $2.99, man. I'll try it. I'll try it if you're willing to give me a deal like that. This movie here I have a VHS tape of somewhere. I'm pretty sure it's over there on another shelf across the room. But I'm not entirely sure because when my wife and I moved into this house, I think I lost track of the VHS. It may even be over here somewhere. I don't know. Anyway, this is a movie I saw in theaters. It really upset me. I've loved it ever since I was a kid. I had toys from the film and like McDonald's, Burger King toys, something like that from it. The Iron Giant. Classic, man. This was actually sealed a moment ago. I actually opened it up. It's a brand new Blu-ray. I've never seen it on Blu-ray, never saw it on DVD either. I watched the VHS over and over and over again as a kid. So I can't wait to pop this in at some point. But it's probably going to be a little bit till I can get to that, so don't expect a review for that anytime soon. Because I'm watching so much, because we're in October, because Christmas is getting ready to come up too, so I'm watching a ton of horror stuff right now, mainly Halloween stuff from my childhood and whatever. You'll see a lot of reviews for that. I'm watching some newer stuff, like I just watched VHS Beyond, which I reviewed on my horror channel called Night of the Living Dude, if you want to go check that out. Sometimes you'll see me re-review things here, because I don't have, like, the audience here that I had there. Like, right now I have 9 subscribers on this channel. There I have, like, 833, I think, as of this morning. So I'm kind of all over the place about what I'm doing with my channels. I'm kind of just jumping all over, doing whatever I want. So it is what it is. This right here I have heard about. I don't know if I heard it was good. Everybody seems a little mid on it. I've seen one of these movies that was like a web series then put on DVD. My grandmother got me years and years ago, like 2014, 2013. This is a Halo 4 tie-in movie called Forward Unto Dawn. Now again, I'm not sure if this is like a movie or a web series that got put on a Blu-ray. I'm not really sure, but it was straight to video all that time ago. The suit here for Master Chief looks, to me, from what I can see on that still, better than what the Halo TV show has. I haven't watched the Halo TV show, but I'm like everybody else. All the complaints people have had, I have too, because it looks like shit with the things they chose to do with it. The screen is very orange right now. I don't really know why. There we go. Forward Unto Dawn. Hopefully it's good. Men in Black 3. Never seen it. $3, I'll take it. You know? I've always wanted to see this one. I had heard mixed things, obviously, when it came out, but it eventually got a rough kind of spin-off kind of part 4 called Men in Black International with Chris Hemsworth and Tessa Thompson, I think is her name, from Creed, right? I think. Haven't seen that one. I haven't seen Men in Black 1 and 2 since I was very young, like 7 or 8 years old, but I've always had this enjoyment of it. You know, I always liked it. I thought it was a cool concept, the alien stuff, the cameos you'd have from people like Michael Jackson. So I've wanted to see Men in Black 3 for a long time. It's been around for like over 10 years now. I think it came out in like 2011, 2012. So, I don't know. I'll try to get around to it at some point. Apollo 18. This copy looks like it's been in a fucking house fire. I swear. Either this was in a house fire and somebody sold it to have a little bit of money for like a cheeseburger or something. I don't know. I'm not making fun of that shit. But either that or somebody burnt a house down and stole this shit before they burn it down. Because there's like ashes and shit. Like, you seeing this? You know, the front is torn up, as you can tell. And then when I open up, there's like all of this fucking crap in here. I don't know if you can see all of that, but like all of this dirt and shit. I've had to wash my hands every time I've even looked at this thing. I have picked this up over and over again in the store because I understood, apparently, even though I kept confusing it with the that one guy from the Poltergeist remake. The guy that plays Justin Hammer in Iron Man 2. What is his name? Jesus, I can't remember. He made a movie called Moon. It's like an art house space movie, like not space sci-fi movie, but like, I think from what I understand, going from Earth to space, but like in a more art house way than something like Interstellar. Not as grounded as something. But I've always wanted to see Moon. I've never seen a copy of it in the wild anywhere, never got a chance to watch it, and I kept confusing Apollo 18 for that forever. No, this is actually a found footage spaceship movie. Like, this is not sci-fi, this is us going to space and there's like aliens. I did have somebody recently, on like a Reddit post or something I was looking at, spoil something like, I think in either the finale or a big reveal about the film, which I'm worried about because I was hoping to like this, but I do have it in my PS4 right now to start watching. Of course, I won't have time by the time I finish up this video because I'll have to start getting ready for work. I won't have time to finish it today, but I will try to watch this over the weekend, and we shall see. We shall see if it's worth discussing. And now I'm just going to set this shit all the way over here, away from my drink, because I don't want to drink contaminants or ashes, possibly from somebody's corpse. I don't want that. And I don't want it to make my other Blu-rays look like shit, you know? This film right here, the next couple of films actually, matter of fact, I actually picked up at Big Lots recently when I was in Tennessee, when I picked up the other thing I was showing you, the John Dies at the End movie. This is, I actually have two Shudder movies here. This is an original from them I've never seen, and then I have one that's an exclusive from them that came to DVD, but this Blu-ray is for Blood Quantum. I'm not sure if this is a zombie movie, or a vampire film, but I understand that it's apparently either an apocalyptic movie, like, but more like the beginning of Mad Max type of apocalypse, like it's just now starting to go to shit, is what I seem to pick up from reading the back of this. But I'm hoping it's good, man. I hope. Brand new copy, too. I think I got it for like $3. The other Shudder film I got, the exclusive from them, was One Cut of the Dead. Now, I don't know anything about this. I think it's a foreign horror film, an Asian horror film, but it's like a zombie comedy, from what I understand. I saw my boy Rambo Raff for Life have his thumb up in the thumbnail that I haven't watched for his video yet, but I have it saved in my video list that I save to watch eventually when I get around to watching a movie. And I think the other guy I watch a whole lot, Sinister Cinema Reviews here on YouTube, gave it a really positive review when I did watch his years ago. His review is what made me pick this up, even though I don't know much about it, but he really recommended it. The fact that Rambo Raff for Life liked it tells me I'm probably going to dig it a lot too, so we'll see. This film here is a Boris Karloff film. I swear that I had this movie or have seen this film somewhere, or maybe a friend of mine picked it up on one of his videos. His channel is Horror FFA, which stands for Free For All. If you haven't seen his channel before, another really good up-and-coming YouTuber that does a lot of horror stuff more than anything. But this movie he may have picked up, or somebody I know picked up, and it looked like my kind of thing. I love Boris Karloff. I'll watch anything he's in, basically. But this is called Cauldron of Blood. I think it's like a 50s or a 60s thriller, horror, whatever. So I'm down for that. That cover is sick, dude. I love that cover. Now this right here, I almost did not go ahead and grab, also from Big Lots. This is a prom night movie 3-pack. It has part 1, part 2, Mary Lou Who, excuse me, Hello Mary Lou. And the third film in here is Prom Night 4, Deliver Us From Evil. It doesn't have 1, 2, and 3. It doesn't have 1, 2, 3, and 4. It doesn't have 3 and 4 in a 2-pack, which I've seen exist before, I believe. It has 1, 2, and 4. Now let me fill you in on this. I have a big, like, 10 movies film pack thing. Then I have the first one and the second one in that. And I've been looking for 3 and 4 just because I love the original Prom Night so much. I've never seen 2, but I've seen clips. Looks like it's kind of up my alley. I figure 3 and 4 are going to be up my alley too because of how much I love 1, what I saw of 2. I know that they kind of are completely different movies from film to film. Some are supernatural, some are not. The original Prom Night's not. It's a cool kind of slasher murder mystery, whodunit type of movie. So I'm hoping that this set will be worth buying for part 4. But if I ever see a 4-pack with all 3 or all 4 of them in it, I can't fucking count. As you can tell, it's a Friday. Go fuck yourself. Forgive me. I sound like an abusive husband of some sort. I may have to go ahead and just ditch this if I find a 4-pack with all 4 films, but that's assuming that I like them all. You know, that's assuming that I like 3 and 4. If I don't like part 2, 3, and 4, I'm just going to get rid of this pack, period, and just keep my original 2, but, you know, it may or may not go that way, so I'm not going to dedicate myself to one side or the other already. Now, this right here I found today for $2.99, and I thought that was a goddamn steal, man. I was so excited about this because there's a couple of films in here that I've wanted to see again. One that I didn't like, one that I did like quite a bit, I actually loved. But it's kind of like 2 movies in one, but I'll get to that in a second. I only saw 1/2. Then there's a bunch of other stuff in here too that I've had people like one of my favorite other YouTubers that I still rewatch all the time even though he doesn't upload, JW Universe. Another great guy, I recommend him highly. James is cool as shit. He always wanted me, when I did my original Michael Kikle channel years ago, he always wanted me to talk more about Marvel animated movies, and he reviewed pretty much all of them at the time. And of course these were straight to video, sometimes they were on TV I believe, but I never saw really many of them. I saw like 2, I wasn't super impressed with the one, and the one that I did love, I was like, okay, well, I'm totally down to watch more of these if they're going to keep up this quality. This is an 8-pack of movies of the Marvel animated features. Yeah, I'm really surprised by this. You have, which I could be a little bit thrown off with some of this stuff, but I'll get to that in a moment. There is Ultimate Avengers 2, Next Avengers, Heroes of Tomorrow. This stuff is really hard to read the way they have this designed. It's like those terrible-ass Gundam sets, you know? The Invincible Iron Man, which I could have sworn I had started, but apparently I was thinking of the motion comic, the Armor Wars type of thing, I believe is what I read. Not Demon in a Bottle or anything, but I think that's what I'm thinking of, is the motion comic thing. But I also started the Iron Man anime. I've started watching that, and the covers are kind of similar, but I don't think it's the same thing, so I may already own that, but still, moving along. Then you have Doctor Strange, not the live action, but it's an animated one that I've never seen, but I used to hear about all the time. There is Hulk vs. Wolverine, which I loved. Thought it was great. If it's the one I remember, which I'm pretty sure it is, there was a Hulk vs. DVD, and that's what's in here. It has Hulk vs. Wolverine, and another one that I didn't see called Hulk vs. Thor. I heard Hulk vs. Thor was okay, kind of bad, but okay. But Hulk vs. Wolverine had like Deadpool in it. It was really great. It was a really fun watch. I loved it back then. I've wanted to see it again ever since. So hopefully it'll be good. But it's going to be weird having a review that just says Hulk versus. And I think both Hulk versus Wolverine and versus Thor were like 25 minutes apiece to make up a full hour movie. If I remember correctly, I think that's how it was. So I may review those separately, because technically they're different films, but technically on the other hand, they're kind of one big movie that's an anthology. So I don't know. I feel like my battery's going to try to die on me. I don't have the time to go grab that stuff. So anyway, I'll move along a little bit quicker. Then you have Planet Hulk, which I did see, and I fucking hated. Thought it was terrible. So, you know, we'll find out whether that's going to be worth the time or money when I rewatch it. Thor Tales of Asgard, which I assume is going to be like an anthology about Asgard, because that's what the title implies, so maybe, maybe not. We'll see. And that's pretty much that 8-pack of movies. I'm actually going to try to plug this thing in real quick. Let's see if I can do it. Ugh. Without destroying all of this shit and knocking my drink over and everything else. Give me just a momento. Man, this is a really professional first video for a haul, isn't it? All that shit I picked up, and what do? I don't think to plug in the camera, because I forget that I ramble too much. Let's see if I can get this thing plugged in. I'm probably fucking up my camera angle too. But that's okay. That's okay. Who cares? Come on. Alright. Alright. I'm gonna take a taste of drink. It looks like the camera is charging. Hopefully that didn't interrupt the actual recording process, but we'll find out. I am gonna move some of this shit around a little bit. Make some room, buddy. All right, now these few sets here. I'm not a fan of James Bond, not really at all. But I wanted to give it the benefit of the doubt and try these out. Again, $2.99 a set, like 3 or 4 movies a pack, 3 packs. So what, $9 for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 movies. So $1 a movie. That's not bad. I think it's gonna be a decent deal, hopefully, because supposedly these are some of the best ones of the James Bond series. I don't know, man. I'm really a Daniel Craig guy. I've watched maybe 1 or 2 Sean Connery films in a pack just like these. This Ultimate Edition set. I think I watched Dr. No and whatever the second movie was in Volume 1 of this set, but it sucked. Or they sucked, or whatever I saw sucked. I can tell already from the stuff people say about a lot of James Bonds in the Daniel Craig era that I'm probably not a big James Bond guy. However, I would be willing to watch these and review them for you all, just like I would the Godzilla films. I know there's just as many, if not more, than what the MCU has available, or the entirety of Marvel films ever. There's a lot of content to watch. And the thing with James Bond films, they're like typically always 2 to 3 hours long. I don't think there's a single one that's like an hour and 45 minutes. If I'm remembering incorrectly, let me know. But we shall see if these are worth the time or effort or money. If you're a big James Bond fan, let me know if anything is good in these sets. One of them I have hopes for because of the things I heard, but we'll see. Roger Moore's Volume 1 and Volume 2 collections. I think that's all he ever made. 6 movies. It's kind of wild. The first set has Live and Let Die, The Man with the Golden Gun, The Spy Who Loved Me, The Volume 2 has Moonraker, which I heard was horrible. I think that's the space one, if I remember correctly. For Your Eyes Only and Octopussy. I'm a little surprised that they had these things coming out like every 2 years, and that, you know, Roger Moore did 6. That's really surprising, dude. I always thought he did like 3, maybe 4. I know like the biggest leader out there is Daniel Craig, as in like how many they've done. And I think Sean Connery did quite a bit too, if I remember correctly. And the other set I picked up was the Pierce Brosnan collection, which I like Pierce Brosnan sort of kind of. It depends on what we're talking about, movie-wise. But I've never seen any of his. Of course, they have GoldenEye, The World Is Not Enough, and Die Another Day. This could be good. I've heard that GoldenEye is phenomenal. I hope. I hope. I get kind of bummed when I talk about James Bond with people and I say Skyfall is my favorite and everybody just rolls their goddamn eyes at me. I love Casino Royale quite a bit. I don't think it's perfect. I actually think it's a little tad bit too long. You could actually chop out a little bit of the end of that movie. Some other parts, I would say, and it wouldn't hurt the runtime at all. It would actually improve the movie even better, in my opinion. But I liked Quantum of Solace when I saw it as a kid. I haven't seen it in ages, so I don't know if it's good or bad. We'll see about that whenever I get a chance to rewatch it. But then you look at Skyfall, the third one. I love it. I saw Spectre for the first time recently. Absolutely loved that. Could not believe people hated it as much as they did. Maybe I'm missing something, I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm not a dedicated James Bond fan. Maybe they changed some lore or something there. I don't know. But I liked it a lot. I thought it was really cool, man. Then I saw No Time to Die, and that fucking sucked. It was bad as shit. I hated it. I thought it was kind of disrespectful to everybody. I don't know if the traditional fans love it. I don't think they did. But I wasn't impressed at all. And I was kind of bummed, you know. I feel like Craig deserved a better movie. But yeah, I've got those sets there, maybe one day. I never saw the original Casino Royale. I've heard that's interesting, so maybe at some point. All right, I think that is everything for the movies. I guess I'll talk about the TV shows now, man. I'll start with the big stuff, man. The anniversary present I got from my wife that I thought was so badass, because she found this for a killer deal. I don't know if she got it from, I think Amazon had gotten to the point it went back to the big price that like Walmart was asking for. Walmart and the studios were asking for like $80 for this movie or this TV series set. I grew up on this TV series. It's one of the earliest sitcoms I ever saw, aside from Boy Meets World, Roseanne, Three's Company, Brady Bunch, all of that stuff. This is one of the big ones that I loved, even though it was before my time. And I've always wanted to see it all the way through, and I never got a chance to. And even reruns. When I was a kid, they didn't rerun this show a lot unless it was early in the day, like 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock. It's not early, but like it's when I was in school, so I couldn't watch it, you know? But I missed it a lot. And years later, I found out it's not called The Steve Urkel Show. It's called Family Matters. My wife found this set for like $35, I think, something like that, on eBay or Amazon. I think it was on eBay, she said. But she got this for me as our anniversary present for our 4-year anniversary. Rachel, thank you so much. This is such a great set. She loves Steve Urkel. I love Steve Urkel. Anniversary present of a show that we both love, even though she's not even a TV movie person. This is cool. I can't wait to rewatch this with her because my wife kicks ass. She's amazing. I'm super thankful that I have a wife that understands my addictions and my hobbies, like things like physical media. You know, she puts up with my ass. But she's so funny, dude. She's so funny. But Family Matters, man. I've always wanted to rewatch it. I grew up thinking it was called, because of my dad and my mom, I always thought it was called Steve Urkel Show or just Steve Urkel. It's not, motherfucker. It's called Family Matters. Apparently Steve Urkel wasn't even going to be a staple of the show until he was so awesome and successful, apparently. I didn't know that. Did you know that? Because I didn't know that. This is pretty sick. I can't wait to watch this at some point. The set that I bought myself around the same time, both of these came in the mail at the same time as us getting ready to leave for our vacation. I think this set showed up like the day before we were going to Tennessee for our vacation. So I'm a huge fan of this show. This box set is a fucking massive letdown. I mean a huge, huge letdown, man. And that is the Futurama complete series. I love Futurama. Been a huge fan of it for a long, long time. And I have to share some things with you, because as I opened this, of course, number one, it's not the complete series anymore. This is actually, there's a new series, new season, at least from a revival, that's happening from Hulu and Disney. I haven't seen the revival. I'm sure it's good, because it's Futurama, dude. Futurama is one of those things to me that people are, like, they're not picky about. People hate modern day Simpsons. I don't really have a massive problem with it because I love The Simpsons, period. Same thing with Family Guy. I'll watch the newer stuff. But I don't think either of those shows are as good as like South Park, American Dad, Futurama. So I don't know what the new Futurama's like. But I was so stoked to get this series, but they were asking for like $150 to $120, even up to $90 at Walmart all the time. And I said, fuck that shit. And I found this for $50, and I grabbed it up immediately on eBay. And I'm so glad I did, but I fucking hate the people who made this set. I don't think you can get all the seasons on Blu-ray, maybe individually, but that's probably kind of expensive. But this, I think, has all 6 seasons. They're listed as volumes, as you can see. I'll show that to you before I show the massive, pissy disappointment I'm about to talk about here. Look at this cool set, dude. I love the heads on the back and the front. So I guess I'll just start with volume 1. So I was so excited. By the way, when I bought this, yeah, it was discounted on price. Yeah, I worried about it being a bootleg. It wasn't. It was a brand new set. And I looked up online, and a ton of people had this same damn problem that I had. I took the case out of the, packaging cardboard thing. It's basically a box within a box within a box. That stupid ass joke your parents thought was funny in the 90s. I opened it up, like so. And then I noticed, oh, first thing, this thing is flappy. Oh, well, it must be like that. No, hell no. This thing is ripped, dude. This thing is fucking ripped. I'm trying not to destroy my disc. This shit is ripped. Do you see that? Oh, shit. Thank God that these discs came in these really thin paper sleeves, because, dude, they would have been destroyed. They would not have survived the mailing process. This thing is ripped in, like, 2 spots, and it's always in every damn one of these sets. I looked at all of them. In every damn set that has more than 1 disc, these things are ripped. Seriously. But it's ripped twice, dude. Like, there's an upper part for the top disc, and then there's the bottom one down here, and it's ripped in both spots, dude. Well, let me fix that. As much as I can, anyway. See, it's ripped right here and down here, which is crazy as hell to me. But I played disc 1 just to make sure it worked. None of the discs have any damage on them, which is what gave it away that this is not a bootleg, this is not a return. The Saran wrap also says to me that this was a brand new set. But as I looked it up on Amazon and other places, it was all too often that these sets were fucking destroyed. They came to people's houses destroyed. People bought this shit for $120 to $150 on Amazon or at Walmart, and this shit was coming in the mail destroyed like that. Unbelievable. Can you even get the Hulu seasons on DVD or Blu-ray? I don't think you can, dude. And I worry, too, that it's not going to be, or maybe that it's not already, since it's been out for a while, like a year now. I'm worried that it's not popular enough for Hulu to bother putting it on physical media like they did with Prey, the Predator movie. So I don't know. I love Futurama. I tried out that first disc, watched those first couple of episodes. Actually, the first 2 discs I watched. And the series looked great. It's a great show. Laughed my ass off. My wife was in the room. She had never seen Futurama. She was laughing about it too. Great show, man. Really, really fun. Good time. I recommend the show. I don't really recommend this set. But this is the only set that comes with the movies, which is season 5, I believe is what I remember hearing. I don't think the Blu-ray sets do. So I could be wrong about that, but that's just a heads up. Man, talked so much my throat's getting sore. And I can already tell based on the time that I'm like 40-45 minutes in approximately, so I'm gonna have to wait off and do the game haul video probably this weekend, which there's a shit ton of that too. Not as much as the TV and movies, but there's a lot there, so hopefully you tune in for that. All right. The TV shows. As you can tell, I had Family Matters, which is live action, then I had Futurama cartoons. There's another big old mix of stuff here too. I did not divide them up, nor do I plan on doing that in front of you, because I wasted your time plugging in all of this shit. So, let's go ahead and talk about the first pickup here. This is one I got today, also for $2.99. The weird thing is, I've been thinking about this show recently. I actually saw a clip on Reddit, like yesterday, and then I found this today. It's the 3rd season completed, and the discs are a little rough, but not horribly wrong. I feel like a polish up at the store I go to that I bought this at could probably make this look even better. They got a new polishing machine anyway recently, so hopefully they can make this look even better. I think supposedly they put everything through that before they put it on the shelves, but this and Apollo 18 are proofs to me that that's a lie. At least some cases I don't think they do it. Maybe with DVDs they don't even bother. But this is the third season, 13 episodes long of X-Men Evolution. I love X-Men Evolution. I loved X-Men cartoons from when I was a kid. I had toys from this for like, isn't the one character named Spike? He's not on the cover. He's like a young black guy. I loved Spike. I loved the orange and black outfit Wolverine wore in the show. I cannot wait to watch this show all the way through. I didn't even know this had DVD seasons, and the fact that this is out tells me maybe season 1 and 2 were out there, hopefully for a good price. I'll try to grab them way later on, maybe with some Christmas money, because right now, dude, I spend way too much goddamn money on this stuff. For gaming, for movies, for TV shows. For the last 3.5 months, I still spent excess of what I usually spend on these things. Not a smart move, but again, bonus at work kind of justified some of that because it was a really good bonus. So I'm going to do it. Today I also picked up the 1st and 2nd season of Sister Sister, which oddly enough, I was watching Cool Duder, another YouTuber. I just keep recommending everybody I watch, aren't I? I was watching Cool Duder or his friend Cinestalker, or maybe they were in the same video or something, and they came across a store like 10 years ago, 11 years ago when the video was posted, and they saw like a season of Sister Sister. And I was under the impression Sister Sister had only been on for like 3 years, maybe. No, it had like 6 or 7 seasons, dude, when I looked it up on IMDb briefly. Really glad to have this. Season 1 is a little rough on the discs. $2.99 though, I'll risk it. Maybe I can take it back again and get it cleaned. Very cheap price there for that. Season 2 is immaculate. It's in great condition. I don't know how somebody can have this season and fuck it up that bad on the discs. Maybe they just never watched Season 2. I don't know. But Season 2 looks great. But I loved that show as a kid. My wife did too. If she jokes and says the word sista instead of sister, we always immediately start singing the theme song. Like the sister, sister, that whole thing. I love it. She does too. Tia and Tamara Mowry, is that their name? Yeah. Whatever happened to them? Weren't they on like Strong Medicine or Grey's Anatomy or some shit? One of them was, right? Tia, I think, was the one that was on there. I loved them, man. They were cute. They were really cute chicks when I was growing up, especially because they were older than me. When I hit like my teen years, they were like 30. They looked great, man. So, moving on to another cartoon I picked up today, $2.99 as well. This says Volume 5, but there has to be quite a few more episodes on this. I think 25 episodes in total. I don't know when this series came out. The back says 2005, but when I looked at some of the stills on this, it looked like it was from the 90s. So I swear I saw this show when I was a kid in the 90s, not in the 2000s. I could be wrong, though. Garfield and Friends, Volume 5. I love Garfield. Haven't seen the cartoons in forever. Used to read the comic strips and stuff. This looks really fun. The discs look good. They're in good condition, so I'm hoping to enjoy that. The bottom of the cases, like their plastic sleeves that go into this, the bottom of all 3 are cracked. Just like that. You see that shit? They're all cracked. All 3 of them. But, yeah. I mean, that's 25 episodes of this, and it's a show that I never see anywhere. Not at any Goodwill I've ever been to, not at any thrift shop. Not that any of the thrift shops here or pawn shops sell movies anymore. I think one does, and that's it. So, that'll be cool, man. It would be nice to revisit that. But I'm pretty sure that's the Garfield cartoon I grew up watching. Fairly certain. I could be wrong about that, though. So, the next thing right here is one that I've wanted to see for ages, because again, Rambo Raff for Life loves this show. And when I got into the newer CW show of this, it was good for an amazing first season. It had a really good 3rd season, a 2nd season that was pretty bad. And then like, I think I started season 4 and it was so bad I quit and just never watched it again. From what I heard in recent years, it got even worse. The CGI looked worse, the writing got worse. Every goddamn character on the show had a power by the end of it. It was a problem in general with the CW DC shows. But I've always wanted to see this show, the original The Flash. This is the complete series. You can usually get this at Walmart for like $10 or $20. It's been on sale constantly when I've been in there. And it's been on the shelves in Walmart for a show that I never knew about as a kid. It's been on Walmart shelves for like 2 or 3 years at my stores. I don't know about yours, but at mine it has been. And Walmart's been cutting down the physical media since Best Buy went out of business. And, well, that was a prediction that slipped out Freudianly. Since they stopped selling physical media, they aren't really doing that well, since they don't have that, in my opinion, and from what I've heard from people I talk to. But Target, same thing there. Walmart could have been the store to go back to like they used to be when I was a kid for movies and DVDs and TV shows. But sometimes they have good stuff. Sometimes they have some really surprising selections like the Incredible Hulk Bill Bixby show. And this. I've been wanting to see this forever. Never got a chance to. Rambo for Life swears by it, says he was super nostalgic about it. The dad from the CW Flash is the one playing the Flash right here. I don't know his name, but I love the costume. It looks great in my opinion. And I've always wanted to see it, so I'm glad to be here. But $2.99. $2.99 for this whole series, and I would still buy it for $20 because there was a lot of episodes in here, man. It says 22 episodes, but dude, I swear it would have to be more because I could have sworn this was on for a while. Maybe it was just a 1 or 2 season show. But I heard it was cool. The suit looks cool. I hope it's cool. Speaking of The Simpsons, I have the 16th season right here. I wish they put out all the seasons. Apparently they're not going to do that. So fuck us, I guess. You know, I guess that's the case. But I love The Simpsons, new or old. I watch any of it. I love quite a few episodes. I don't like quite a few episodes, not because I hate those episodes, just because The Simpsons lost its way a long time ago. It's nothing new you haven't heard before, but I will still watch stuff from Family Guy and The Simpsons when I haven't seen the episodes before. It's just how I am. I don't know why, but I am like that. But I'm hoping this will be okay. $2.99. The discs are fucking destroyed on this. So if they don't work, I'll just take it and get it polished up. They may be beyond saving, but we'll see. We'll see. Alright, final stack of movies here. I'll try to get through these fairly quickly, but you know how I am. The first thing up here is a Power Ranger season called Jungle Fury, the complete series. Never seen this before. I think it was a 2017 season, but I've never seen it. Didn't know it existed. Never heard of it. Well, I think I've heard the title Jungle Fury. Maybe I saw some toys at Walmart or something with Jungle Fury's branding on it. I think the last one I ever saw was the next one I'm about to show you, but that one came out in like 2012, and I know I was not watching fucking Power Rangers in 2012. Now, there's a lot of series. They have like a new branding every year. They kind of bounce back and forth between cars and then dinosaurs and then animals and then space and then back to cars. They kind of do that all the time. I don't understand why we haven't had like an ancient Egypt one or something. That would be really badass, something different. Maybe monsters themed, like Universal Monsters themed. That could be really sick too. Maybe Super Sentai, the original thing Power Rangers is stolen from. Not stolen, but adapted from. Maybe they did something like that. I don't know, but that would be badass. I mean, you look at like the thing the Green Ranger wore in Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. That looks like something from Ancient Egypt. Ancient Egypt. I can't talk. But I would like more things like that, and just a variation, you know? But I've always liked Power Rangers. I don't mind the new stuff versus the old stuff when I have seen bits and pieces of episodes from newer years, like Nickelodeon's Power Rangers. I love the newer movie from 2017, 2018, whenever that was. That was really awesome. I'm hoping that this will be good. I got it dirt cheap, and I like Power Rangers, so hopefully it's good. But Jungle Fury, 2017, that really surprises me that they were even making anything at that point. That has to be Nickelodeon era, right? Maybe I'm wrong. The next Power Rangers thing that I swear was the one that was the final one I saw, but again, it says 2012 for the release copyright. It couldn't have been this one. But there was one I watched that the Blue Ranger's costume was fairly similar to this, and it was a black guy. I remember that because I had a toy of him, and he was my favorite character on the show. On that particular era of Power Rangers. This was after Galaxy, it was after Lost Space. but I don't remember what it was. It was after Lightspeed Rescue, because I loved Lightspeed Rescue quite a bit too. It had to have been like 2006, 7. I think I was 11 or 12 years old when Power Rangers either vanished, or I just didn't see it anymore, or they didn't sell VHS tapes or DVDs of it anymore, really. Or I never went out of my way to get my hands on one. But anyway, this is Dino Thunder, 2012, like I said. Never seen it, don't know anything about it aside from the dino themes, kind of harking back to Mighty Morphin Power Rangers days. Hoping it's good, as I've said every single fucking thing I've shown you today. I will try to stop that habit by the time we do another one of these haul videos together, but I can't promise it, just saying. I'm really trying to watch the time, man. Hanna-Barbera's Diamond Collection of Josie and the Pussycats, the complete collection. I got this at Big Lots too for like $6 or $7. I was super excited about that. I loved Josie and the Pussycats and all these Hanna-Barbera cartoons when I was a kid, when you'd have this one channel that would show you samples of other channels you could pay extra to the cable company to get. And one of those channels that would show up as a sample was Boomerang, that was tied into Warner Brothers and Cartoon Network. And they would show old stuff that I had never seen, like Huckleberry Hound, and this, obviously, Flintstones, which I had seen a bunch anyway. And I loved it. I thought it was so good. Josie and the Pussycats isn't as good as, like, the Jetsons, Flintstones, and all of that, but I liked it enough to want to see it again. And I wanted to pick this up. I actually picked up Magilla Gorilla earlier this year, the complete series from Big Lots as well, for like $9 or something like that, maybe $8. I think it was on sale too. But I picked up that earlier this year, and I always liked Magilla Gorilla quite a bit. I'm surprised this didn't have more seasons. It's a basic regular DVD case. I got some little plastic shit here. But it surprised me. I'm really excited to go ahead and get a copy of this, and hopefully it's good. Hopefully it's good. It was a really big surprise to find all these cool DVDs and shows and stuff at Big Lots. Not all of it's from Big Lots, obviously, but quite a bit of it, like that, and like those Shudder movies and stuff, the Boris Karloff film. I'm glad I was able to find these. It was something nice, because a lot of the shops I liked in Tennessee to get movies and stuff from, they're gone, man. My wife and I go there like once a year, and those things are gone. Those things don't exist. My favorite restaurant out there is gone. It's been gone for like 2 years, and I'm really upset about it. But Josie and the Pussycats, I'm hoping it's just as good as I remember. This show here came out in like the 2010s, and I loved it. I have the first 2 volumes that are also included in this set, but this had volume 3. I've never seen volume 3 in the wild. I went ahead and grabbed it brand new from Big Lots. I think it was like $3, something like that. Volume 1, 2, and 3 of the Looney Tunes show. This is newer. This is not the old Looney Tunes with Bugs Bunny versus Elmer Fudd. This is a different setup and a different concept for anybody who hasn't seen it. Again, 2010's humor, very dry humor show. I'd be surprised if a lot of British people didn't work on this show with how dry the humor is. It's as dry as sand on the beach, dude. But it's super fucking funny, from what I remember of it. My cousin and I, when I was going to my dad's house, or really my grandparents' house where my cousin lived, my dad was living there off and on years ago when I was a teenager. When I would go over there to hang out with my cousin every other weekend, we would watch this all the time on Cartoon Network. There was something fun about it. It had a really good sense of humor, but basically the general idea is not the typical thing from back in the day. Bugs Bunny doesn't live in the goddamn woods like a bunny would. No, he and Daffy are roommates, not husbands, roommates in a house in the suburbs. And other characters from the Looney Tunes world are like neighbors and shit. And I loved it. It was really good. It sounds bad. Like, it's kind of like when somebody pitches Muppet Babies to you, and then you watch it and you're like, this is not bad at all. Like, I actually enjoy this. That's what Looney Tunes show was for me when I saw it years ago. Had no interest in watching it or the regular show at the time. And both have that same type of humor, not the same animation style, but the same type of humor, that dryness that just works. It's like, it's Looney Tunes but inspired by The Office. But really fun. It's not mundane, it's not boring, it's really good, and I'm a little surprised people don't talk about it more. I want to get the whole series. I'm surprised that there's a 3-pack out here with the first 3 volumes, which are, I think it was 12 episodes? Yeah, 12 episodes on 3 discs, which is a shame. I don't even think that's the first season. But I wish we could get a complete series pack, because man, it's good. I recommend it if you haven't seen it before. Then I have seasons 5 and 6 of The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I have one more season to go. I think 6 is the final season, I remember. I think. Yeah, it is, isn't it? Could have sworn this was on for 8 years. I could have sworn. I've seen Fresh Prince of Bel-Air over and over again, and like I said earlier in the video, I'm a big Will Smith guy. Loved the show when I was growing up, just like I did Full House and Family Matters and all this other shit I mentioned. Didn't have these. They're in perfect condition, aside from the boxes themselves being destroyed, but the discs look good, which is all that really matters to you-know-who, me. But it turns out, I think Season 2 is the final one I need. So, hopefully I can pick that up. It was at the store the other day. I thought I had that. I thought I had Season 1, 2, and 3. It turns out I had 1, 3, and 4 that I also bought from this shop. When I went back today, Season 2 was missing again, which somebody had just bought it during this past week. So, I had to wait, or try to find it online. But I'm glad at least that complete series is out. I actually found out yesterday, looking online, my favorite, or at least one of my top 3 or 4 or 5 sitcoms of all time, is According to Jim. I could watch According to Jim every day of my life and not get sick of it, just like Boy Meets World. According to Jim, from the get-go of the show, from the first episode, the damn pilot, it's amazing. It's super fun, super enjoyable, makes me laugh nonstop. Whereas it was on for like 9 years, 8 years. I don't even think it went off the air until 2009. It was almost a full 10 years of that show. It started in like 2000, 2001. And do you know they only put out 5 seasons? I believe it was 5 on DVD for physical media. Can you believe that? That's crazy as hell. That show is so good, and you can watch the whole thing on streaming, but it was not like a politically correct show, nor was it super conservative or anything like that, but it was very much about a husband and wife being sometimes hilariously toxic to each other, as the current day kids and stuff say. But it's wonderful if you haven't seen that show before. But yeah, I'm surprised Fresh Prince has a whole collection set out there, but according to Jim, still doesn't. Home Improvement barely has one, so that's a bummer, dude, for real. This right here is the complete first season of The Cleveland Show. I like The Cleveland Show. I don't give a shit what you other people say. I think that it is probably the weakest McFarlane show, in my personal opinion. I love Family Guy. American Dad is better. This is like just barely under Family Guy for me. Yes, it's basically Black Family Guy. Everybody makes that joke. I get it. But I love Cleveland, and I don't mind his family. I don't really know their names aside from the old ex-wife, Loretta. You know, because Cleveland was always like, Loretta. I can't even do my impression of him. I'm not good at it, especially when I've been talking this long. But I like the show. I don't think it's that bad. I don't understand the hate for it. I think it's just kind of that typical, I hate modern day Family Guy. It hasn't been funny since early days of Family Guy. But you notice they never give you a real point of when it stopped being funny. Maybe they just grew up out of that humor and I didn't. I don't know. But I like the Cleveland Show. It's not as funny as Family Guy, but I like it. I think it's pretty good, and I would like to own all of it. They canceled the show. I think Cleveland moved back to Quahog, if I remember correctly, so I like it, though. That's all that matters. All right. This was like the most recent thing I picked up, aside from the stuff I showed you I picked up today. This was 2 different items that go for way higher on Amazon, and a lot of the time on eBay, brand new. But I've had it on my Amazon wish list, both of these things, for ages. And I just never see them pop up. I've had them on my list for like 3 years. Eyeballed them every week. They never come back in fucking print. And I got so sick of it that I finally looked at eBay like a genius. And I grabbed it up just like I did Futurama. And that is Drawn Together, the complete series. This is not with the movie though. I bought the movie separately. Collectively, I think I got these for like right under 60 bucks. It was like $10 for this and like a full 50 for this. This was used, this was brand new, which was really cool. I loved this show as a kid. For anybody who doesn't know what it is, it's basically a parody of a lot of things that were pop culture back in the day, but it's also a parody of reality TV like Big Brother, for example. Having a bunch of cartoon characters live together in a house for the show, and it was like a reality TV show. You had, basically, let me just show them off. You had Superman, SpongeBob, essentially, Foxy Brown, which reminds me of number 5 from Codename Kids Next Door, Benny Boop. I don't know who she should be. I've tried to think maybe Princess Peach or whatever from Mario. Then you had This guy that I don't even know what he should be like. He kind of reminds me of those characters you'd have from like Futurama. You have Link being super, super gay, which was hilarious. And where is... Oh, yeah. And they have the Pikachu. The little Pikachu guy that's orange. Who only speaks Japanese. This show is funny as fuck. It's nowhere to be found on streaming as far as I know. I don't think it's on Comedy Central anymore for their streaming stuff, which is a shame because it's brilliant. It's one of their best shows ever, aside from South Park. This might be the next best cartoon for adults of all time, aside from American Dad, and might be right behind South Park, I would say, is the best one. It is so funny. It's so creative. It sounds like it'd be repetitive for 3 seasons, but it's not. It's really, really cool. This set actually comes with... Do I have enough time to show you all this? I got like 5 minutes. I can try. It comes with a board game. Like an actual board game they made for the set, which I thought was cool as shit. It's shaped like a dick. And then you flip it over and it's more like traditional board game Candyland types of shit. I'll never play it. Maybe. Maybe not. I don't know. I doubt it. I haven't really played a board game in a while. My wife and I used to play it all the time. But then they have like all of these cards for like the questions and answers you ask people, which is cool. Then they have like the pieces you play as, you know? Pretty awesome, man. You know? All the stuff you play. They have the die right here that you take out and roll up. I'm surprised nobody ever played this. I mean, this must have been relatively somebody's like treasure trove, and then they died and somebody sold it to me and they'll never see it again. I don't know. But I love Drawn Together. And I remember the last time I saw this show was years ago when Netflix had just become a massive thing. And Netflix at that time, for people who don't know, had like Spider-Man the Animated Series. They had like all of Power Rangers. They had a ton of stuff on there back in the day when Netflix was good. They are not good anymore, nor are they worth your money anymore. And I watched on my Nintendo 3DS XL, and I was one of the last people to ever get one. I think it was like 2013, 2014. Maybe it was a little bit after school, like closer to 2015. I don't know. But I watched all of Drawn Together on my DS, and I think a little bit on my TV too. And then I got to see the movie that I never knew existed. And the movie was really good. It wasn't as good as I wanted it to be, but it was good for kind of a cap-off ending for such a good show, such a good run for it. I had a great time, and I am so glad that I was able to get those finally because I've been looking for Drawn Together for ages. I looked on the streaming services to see if they were there, and like I said, it was just nowhere to be found. You couldn't get it anywhere, which was some bullshit because of how much I love the show, how much I think a lot of people love the show. So if you can't find something on Amazon, the moral of the story, I would say, is check eBay and see if you can find it somewhere decently. Thrift Books has stuff sometimes too for movies, mostly books, but sometimes movies and shows. Try to check out all your sources. Try to check out everything you can to find stuff, because sometimes you'll find the stuff for like dirt cheap versus like a used copy on Amazon for like 90 bucks for just the show. So I'm glad I was able to get my hands on it. Can't wait to watch that, Family Matters, Futurama, all of this other stuff. Sister Sister, The Flash, X-Men Evolution, one of the real big ones. So that's it. That was the last thing for the whole haul. That's a long-ass video. I think it's like an hour and 10 minutes, something like that for this video now. I'm done. Thank you for being here for the first haul video. My voice is all jacked up. I'm going to have to just take thankfulness to God that I don't have to talk in my job, that I just get to stand by myself and listen to my shit on YouTube all the time. Because I wouldn't be able to talk today if I had to do it. Plus, I ate a big lunch for the first time in like weeks, which was nice, because I'm dieting. That sucks. So I'm super full, I can barely breathe, and that's why I've been huffing in so much air this whole time, aside from being fat. And then I wanted to talk about all this shit, which took forever. So, anyway, thank you all for being here, guys. God bless you all. What did you pick up recently, whether it be this week, beyond this week? What are you going to pick up soon if you can find it somewhere? Let me know everything you want to pick up, what you're excited for, what you're currently collecting, if it be movies, books, whatever. I'd love to hear all that down below. And again, I'll do my gaming haul. I know I had a ton of movies and shows here, months of collecting this stuff. But that last haul was mainly games and Drawn Together. So I'll show you the games in another video sometime either this weekend or next week if I get a chance. Tune in for that if you're excited about some video games. Most of it's PS2 because that's what I mainly buy. You know, a lot of it's racing games and some platformers, some stuff you're going to know and some stuff I've never heard of. So even from big franchises like Crash Bandicoot that I've never heard of some of the entries that I picked up. So all of that being said, thank you all for being here again. God bless you all. Have a great weekend. Happy Halloween. It's coming up very soon. And tune in for some more reviews. I got a ton of stuff to upload for you, so hopefully you enjoy that. Thank you again. God bless you again. Goodbye.